Imagine two monks, one young and one old, walking through a dense forest. The young monk was a stickler for the rules, his mind sharp with every vow he'd made. The old monk, however, walked with a calm, unhurried pace, his eyes holding the wisdom of years. They arrived at a rushing river and saw a beautifully dressed woman hesitating on the bank. She was afraid to cross, worried she would ruin her fine silk clothes in the water. The young monk immediately averted his gaze, remembering his sacred vow: never touch a woman. It was a rule he held dear, a pillar of his practice. But the old monk simply smiled. Without a word, he walked over to the woman, gently lifted her onto his shoulders, and waded through the current to the other side. He carefully set her down, gave a polite bow, and then just kept walking. The young monk was stunned, his mind racing. He followed in agitated silence, replaying the scene over and over. He couldn't believe what he had just witnessed. His respected elder had broken one of their most fundamental vows right in front of him. The silence stretched for hours, but the young monk's inner turmoil only grew louder. The more he walked, the heavier his frustration became. Finally, he couldn't bear it any longer. He rushed to the old monk's side and burst out, "Brother, how could you do that? We are forbidden to touch women, yet you carried her across the river. You broke your vow." The old monk stopped, his expression peaceful. He looked at his young companion with kind eyes and said softly, "I put that woman down by the river hours ago. Why are you still carrying her?" The young monk froze. In that single moment, everything shifted. He realized the heavy burden he'd been carrying all this time wasn't the woman. It was his own judgment. It was his resentment. He had been so focused on the letter of the law that he had missed its spirit entirely. As they continued their journey, the forest suddenly seemed brighter, the air lighter. The distant sound of the river faded away, replaced by a quiet sense of understanding. This story teaches us a powerful lesson. Letting go isn't just about physical things. More often, it's about releasing the heavy baggage of judgment and resentment we carry in our minds. True compassion doesn't just help others, it frees us from the prisons of our own making. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please give it a like and subscribe for more content that makes you think. See you in the next video.